Hello, everyone. So today is a Friday, like again, my favorite day. And this time I'm going to go first with my name because I always think about it later. So my name is Sibila and I am a web designer and a branding expert. So today I actually want to talk about one-page websites. So if you're on the yes team, stick with me. If you're on the no team, also stick with me because we're going to talk about all of those things, why yes and why no. So if you're in here, if you're watching this live, let me know. I'd love to see who's with me on here. Just oops, I don't need to hear my voice. Again, I'm checking if I'm live. So just type hello. Let me know where you're watching this from, how you're doing today. And so, okay, so let's start. All right. So if you've ever thought about maybe having a one-page website, I'm sure you probably thought about, is this good? Is this bad? Is this a good idea? Is this the bad idea? What are what are the pros and what are the cons? Okay, so I'm going to start telling you there's a lot of reasons why a one-page website is a bad idea. But what if you need to have a website like yesterday because somehow you have a launch or you're launching a new service or a new product, or you need to have it because there's a new event and you don't really have time to go ahead and produce a whole full-blown website. So, or even if you're going into business now and you need something now because there's an event, whatever, there's all these many reasons why you would need a website super fast. Now, these are the times that we go up and we think, maybe I should just put up a one-page website and be done with it. So that might work, but we need to think a little bit ahead. So first, let me give you not all, but like the main reasons why a one-page website is a bad idea. Okay, so the first reason is you're putting constraints on your copy, which means, what if you want to add a new service, or what if you want to start blogging? You end up constraining your copy to just that one page. And then if you want to grow after that, you might need to redo the whole thing. So that's one of the reasons why it's a bad idea. The second one is related to your visitors. So what happens is sometimes your visitors get confused, especially because of your navigation. So they see the navigation. So let's say your navigation says about services, contact me, or whatever else you might have on your top navigation. So when visitors see that navigation, they think, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to a new page. That's how it is. So what happens is, if with a one-page website, they click on the navigation and then they end up scrolling all the way down to a specific section of your website. And then they read that section, which, for example, if they clicked on about, they click on about, they read about you or about your team, and then they keep scrolling a little bit more and then they find services. And then they get confused because didn't I just click on about? So it can get confusing. So remember that I always, I like to kind of talk about this a lot. You always want to keep your navigation as simple as possible. Why? Because you don't want to cause any friction between your content and your visitor. You want to help him get there or get to your goal as fast as possible and in a simple way. Okay, so that's the second reason why it's a bad idea to have a one-page website. The third reason is your page usually takes longer to download. Why? Because it's going to end up being a long page. Now, if you do add all of those things that you want to add to your one pager, it becomes a very long page. Then it becomes, it takes just longer to download. And especially if you have lots of visuals and images and graphics and all that stuff takes a long time to load. So that's like a negative point for your one-page website. Now, this one might be a deal breaker if you're into this, especially in the beginning. Maybe you're not. But the fourth reason is it's definitely an SEO no-no. So what happens is it's way more difficult to rank as SEO rank, search engine optimization rank, with a one-page website than with a website that has many pages, especially if your niche, the niche you're in, is saturated. So Google will not be able to rank that page with just one page. So for SEO, that's a no-no. The fifth reason why a one-page website is a bad idea is you don't get any insights of user behavior. So whatever people are doing on your website, you don't really get any results from that. So what happens is Google Analytics, they don't record the navigation. They don't record where your user goes. So every time, for example, he clicks on a link, if you have a several page website, Google records that they went from this page to that page, from this page to that page. And then after a few months, or after, a couple of, whatever time and visitors you have on your website, you end up with decent data to understand how your visitors work on your website, how they move around your website, so you can either change or make adjustments or make changes, or even keep the way it is because it's working. So with a one-page website, you won't be able to record any of that because they're not going anywhere. They're just clicking on links that are not even links. They're just clicking on what we call anchors, because that link on the top navigation, if you do have one, it just anchors them to a different section on the same page. So those are the 5 things, the 5 main reasons why it's a bad idea for a one-page website. Now, let's talk about why you would like to actually do a one-pager. So why? Already talked about this. It's faster to write, and it's faster to create, and it's faster to launch, right? So that was the first thing I said in the beginning. So maybe you just need a website up right away. You need it within a week, and then you kind of resort to you resort to a one-page website. That's fine. So how do you overcome all of the issues I told you? So the number one thing is just think of your one-pager as an initial phase and not as a whole website. So let's say you decide that right now you need just a one-page website because of an event or whatever reason it is that you need a one-page website because it's faster for you to put it up. Think about it as, okay, so this is my first phase. So I am eventually going to put up more pages. I'm eventually going to link up more pages, but I'm just going to get this one up right now because it's faster. So think of it as a first phase. Okay, don't think of it as a final project. Okay, so that's how you have to approach the one-page website. So approaching your one-page website, what happens is, number one, you write your copy as an introduction. Okay, so think about it as an introduction. You're definitely not writing your about me section, for example, along, or all of the explanations, and you just want to have a bit of an introduction. So again, plan on adding a real about page later, but have an about section on that one pager. Think about your copy as an introduction. That's one thing. Number 2 is ditch that navigation. Like literally ditch the about, the services, all of those links that you put on the top just so people can go all the way to the bottom. Ditch that. Why? Like I said, because it confuses them, and they'll scroll down no matter what. People are getting more and more used to scrolling down pages, even if they're super long, especially if you separate it into sections. So keep that in mind. Ditch that navigation. The only thing you want on the top of your website is your logo and a call to action button, which means whatever goal your website, in this case your one-pager, has, if the goal is for them to book a call with you, or if the goal of that one-pager is to register for an event, or if that one-pager goal is to, I don't know, download a specific PDF that you have, that's the button you're going to put on the top. That's it. Ditch everything else. Okay, so logo and your CTA at the top. That's number 2. Okay, so number 3 is, like again, I already mentioned, long pages. They take long to download, period. That happens with any long page. Okay, so how can you overcome the issue of maybe being too slow to load? Is split your page in sections. That's important. Don't make them too long. Make them a certain height where people can actually see it within just one scroll. They don't have to keep scrolling within the same section. So here are the sections you want to have, definitely want to have on your one-page website. You definitely want to have the hero part, which is the top part of your page. That's where you actually put your unique proposition. That's, or your value proposition. Then after that, you definitely want your CTA again, your call to action again. So that could be get in touch, book a call, register for a certain event, whatever that is. You want to repeat that same button that's on the top of your navigation. You want to repeat it again right below your hero. Okay, so right below that big UVP that you have, I said UVP, the unique value proposition. Okay, after that, you want to do your services. That's your service section. And then after that, you want to do an about section. And then after that, maybe you want to, depending on your niche, depending on what you do, maybe you want to have previous projects that you worked on, kind of like a portfolio section, or maybe just reviews and testimonial section. That also works. And then you want to have your call to action again. So again, book a call, register for an event, download this PDF, whatever that is. And in the footer, just your company info, whatever that info is. Okay. That's one of the things, that's a good way for you to overcome the issues of a long page that takes a long time to load. And also just use necessary images. Don't like just load a whole bunch of images just to make it look pretty. Just use images that are related to your copy and that actually help inform your visitor. Okay. The next one is, remember I talked about the SEO and the Google Analytics? So forget that. You're going to have to compromise. If you just need a website, I mean, if you're going for a one pager for a certain amount of time because you need it right away, we have to compromise. You're not going to get the SEO that you need, and you're not going to get the analytics that you need. So again, compromise, forget about that, but plan to add more pages later. So again, if, for example, if you just want to get it up because you need to have something up, like for people to book a call with you, for example, because right now you don't have time because you're working on a certain project, but you need your one pager there, you need your website up, have that website up, but plan in the future, a short future, don't make it like 2 years from now, but maybe in 2, 3, 4, 6 months, just plan ahead to add more pages to it. So, again, bottom line is it's okay to have a one-page website, but not as a final website. That is not your final website, okay? So that would be your starter. Let's just call it a starter website and plan ahead. Plan to have more things later. Okay, that's definitely where you want to get to. So take advantage of the media. We're not printing something in the magazine where, once you print, it's done. You can't really change it. Take advantage of this media. It's the internet. You can change, you can evolve, you can add things, you can remove things. So that's why I tell you to plan it as a full website, but start off with a one pager. Okay. So let me see if you have any questions. I see a lot of you joining me. Hi. Micheline says it's absolutely perfect. Thank you. I see you there. I am so glad. I'm so glad I did say your name right. Okay. Genia. Hi, Genia. Great topic. I know. I love this one too. And then I see Cheryl. Cheryl says great tips. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me know if you have any questions about one pagers. There, like I said, it's like a yes team and a no team. And I don't want to say I'm a yes team or a no team, but it really depends on your circumstances. And there are some negatives about having a one pager, just like I told you. But again, it's all about compromise. Genia says, okay, I have a question here. Genia says, I didn't know all the background about why not to have a one pager. There you go. Yes, I know, right? Sometimes we do say, just go ahead and do a one pager. Most of the time it's because you're in a hurry and then you need something up right away or for any specific reason. Genia says, how else can we learn with you? Okay, so here's how you can learn with me. You can keep watching my lives. You can visit me on YouTube, or you can visit my website, or you can also sign up for my course coming up at the end of July. It's all about building your website. The course name is Rock Your Website, and it's going to be wonderful. I'm really working on this and I can't wait to get this out there. I don't have a date yet, but it's definitely at the end of July. So that's also how you can learn with me. And anyway, so if you have any other questions, let me know and I will be around. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here and have an awesome weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.